Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Fallout New Vegas Faction Warriors. In our last episode, the recruit legionary sped through the game at such a rate that he proved worthy of his name, Fastelius of Speed. Can a boomer of Nellis top either the Legion or the NCR time? Well, we do have a couple of things working out for us, but before we get into that, just a quick rundown of the rules that this series operates on. We're attempting to clear the main story of FNV as fast as possible. Since there are 4 story routes, we know the quickest way to clear the game is to go the independent route regardless of which unit we play as. Regardless if we're Legion, NCR, or whomever, we go this route because in the name of speed, we're sacrificing key elements of the game such as roleplay and lore. For example, our Legionary was allowed to make use of chems, so our boomer will not be obliterating every filthy savage on sight. As mentioned before, we have some things working out for us, and that's this assortment of gear right here. Boomers actually wield weapons other than this, including basic stuff like the lead pipe, so we can use that too. But since boomers pack a ton of explosive firepower, they're best at killing at a distance, and we kinda hope that the few battles we'll be engaged in go this way because splash damage is going to be a massive problem if our aim is off or if we don't kill enemies in 1 and 2 hits. Fortunately, since we have a missile launcher at the start, I think we'll be alright. I opted not to give us the Fat Man as we straight up will just not need it. We can buy it if we want to, but I don't think we're going to need it at all. As powerful as we are, our boomer jumpsuit and flight suit are basically just tweaked and slightly higher DT value jumpsuits from the vault. Our boomer helmet does give us a +1 perception, which is cool, but that +1 perception isn't going to help us all that much. And hey, speaking of perception, here's the special we use for this series. 5 strength, 5 perception, 8 endurance, 1 charisma, 4 intelligence, 7 agility, 10 luck. The goal is to get to 100 speech as fast as possible, and yeah, I know, we get it way faster with 10 intelligence. If this is your first video, Faction Warriors or otherwise, you'll see that we really won't need it. Also, hi and welcome. Every Faction Warrior's traits are skilled in Logan's Loophole. Skilled is just great in general, and normally the XP cut is kinda trivial, but in this series, where the vast bulk of our XP is coming from advancing through the main story, it's actually kind of a detriment, since we want to avoid as many battles as possible. We are trying to go fast after all. So skilled adding to the overall challenge is kinda cool. Logan's Loophole because we can never become addicted to anything we ingest. Items like chems also have double the duration, and it stacks with Day Tripper, which will be great for Hoover Dam. If we're fast enough, we'll only need 1 of each chem to buff us for the finale. And we are allowed to use the varmint rifle provided to us by Sunny Smiles, as we're only hitting glass bottles. We also do the first stage of the tutorial to unlock the cutscene where Joe Cobb threatens Trudy and Goodsprings in regards to Ringo. We need him for an item essential to our routing. Goodsprings School also has some useful items, and since we have a lead pipe, taking a couple seconds to dispose of the praying mantises is fine. They're not a threat, but we don't want them to be in combat or in caution because that will trigger Joe Cobb to run away here in a minute. The other reason why we talk to Sunny Smiles at all is because she'll give us a Locksmith Reader's Magazine, provided we pick the dialogue option to prompt her to give it to us, and we need that for the safe inside of the school. Last up on our Goodsprings list of things to do is to take out Joe Cobb, which we'll want to do while remaining undetected. This will prevent us from earning the ire of the Powder Gangers, which guarantees us safe passage to the next important spot in our routing order, the Crevasse, which loops around a hidden valley, infested with bark scorpions. Now, while we are trying to avoid as few battles as possible, we are still going to need some experience points. And before our first major battle, we want to hit level 2 so that we can take the confirmed Bachelor perk, which buffs our damage against male units by 10%. It's also great for Hoover Dam because all legionaries are male. After getting Hidden Valley on our map, we're going to head on over to Red Rock Canyon, courtesy of the good old stealth boys, at least one of them, we got from back at Goodsprings. The boomer actually has enough firepower to where he might be able to actually kill the Cazadors here, but we want to avoid this battle because it's way too uncertain and it's a lot faster. Making our way to Red Rock Canyon, just know that in this series we talk to Papa Khan because the wiki says just explore Red Rock Canyon, and that doesn't seem to work for me, so that's what we go with. Our first major battle here in Faction Warriors is against Cook because we have to cross Outer Vegas to get over to Camp McCarran anyway. And because killing Queenie will cause Cook to go berserk and kill the other fiends, we always take advantage of that. And that missile might have been overkill, but I'd rather overkill than underkill. And because Cook and his fiend minions are battling one another, we can go and switch on over to the grenade launcher. We got it from the courier stash, the mercenary version. We are allowed to use that because it's a variant of a grenade launcher. And while there's no story lore or anything of the sort in these types of runs, it would feel out of place to not have a boomer covet an explosive weapon. Well, that went off without a hitch. We'll go ahead and loot Cook and then make our way all the way down to El Dorado substation. Gonna have to come back here a little bit later on. Once we get that, we can fast travel back to it. We're gonna go up to Freeside and chat with our boy Dixon here. This guy's very important because we get Day Tripper from this guy. Yeah, we could buy booze from Trudy at the start of the run, but Dixon has useful chems, namely Buff Out, which we want for later on, specifically at Hoover Dam. Also, being able to one-shot Dixon with a sneak attack crit gives us a little bit of XP, and we can loot the stim pack off of him. I should do a Dixon run sometime. That'd actually be kind of fun. At any rate, before we leave Freeside, we're gonna go ahead and chem up till we get Day Tripper, and then we're gonna move on all the way to the Field Shacks to make contact with our tribe, the Boomers of Nellis. Now you might be saying, hey, why are you calling them Boomers of Nellis? There's no other Boomers in this game. Well, there are Boomers in Fallout Tactics. They are tribals whom you can play as during the training missions in the game. There's a Boomer run I should do, give the Midwest some more lovin'. What do you think of that, George, boy? And you know we have to kill this guy with the missile launcher. I mean, how often in Faction Warriors or our standard runs do we get the chance to do this? And you bet we're going into VATS mode for this. I don't care how much time it wastes. The first one missed, but not the second one, man. I wish I had a live reaction for that. I was laughing so hard at that. Hey, if nothing else, you can't say I'm not consistent with keeping our Georgia boy kills fresh. There is actually one run where we spared him. Longtime fans of the channel probably know what it is, and if you don't, well, my friends, you have a homework assignment to do. Now, here at Pearls, normally we just loot the combat armor and the helmet and the first aid boxes, but because we are using a missile launcher, it's best that we take a couple of extra seconds here to go ahead and jimmy our way through these lockers here. It's okay, we're a boomer, we're not stealing, we're just borrowing, without Mother Pearl's permission. And hey, speaking of acting like a boomer, there's no need for us to wait here. We're gonna go ahead and blow these guards away and hope we don't pull, like, the entire camp on us. Well, because we were crouched and sneaking, we're only in caution, so we can at least make our way outside here. I wonder if we're going to be followed by anybody. Well, Georgia Boy's already dead, so who could it be? Ah, Colonel Shu, one of the NCR characters I actually like quite a bit. Well, he has done the Faction Warriors quite a service by lending us his NCR disguise. That way, we won't be in combat when we use the monorail. I didn't plan for that to happen, but we also have a safe way to get inside of El Dorado once we go back there for round 2. Yes, we're being held up by a guy. We're just an NCR trooper with a missile launcher. Nothing to see here. Okay, let's start doing the rounds. We're gonna go to the Ultralux first because we're in the area. Talk to our boy Mortimer here and check in. Giving the Ultralux some serious business between 3 Faction Warriors and focusing on it in our Dean Domino run, which you haven't watched, you should definitely go check out. It was a ton of fun, especially if you're a fan of the independent route. Well, I don't know if this is going to waste time or not, but I mean, we're playing as a boomer, we have awesome weapons, we have to try fighting our way through the casino and just killing Benny this way. My thought process is that we only have to come here one time after we kill Benny, talk to Yes Man, all that good stuff, because we can go right back on over to Mr. House and take him out, which should save time, right? I don't know, I like to think that maybe the loading screens have traumatized me because, my god, sometimes they take quite a while, and sometimes I'm in fear of the game crashing. It's just part of the New Vegas experience, you know what I mean? And I gotta say, so far this seems to be the optimal route for this unit because, I mean, why try to talk our way through Swank and then go fight Benny and assassinate him when we can just take him out and, you know, have a ton of collateral along the way? It's a lot of more stuff we can sell, too. Speaking of Benny, here he comes, and surprisingly, he takes 3 shots from our grenade launcher to take out. And while going to Yes Man right now would be the best idea, it turns out that I'm not a fan of the best ideas sometimes. I go back outside because I'm admittedly pretty excited trying this new method. And what, you know what, there's someone who is perfect for us to take out our frustration on. Good old Wolpez, one-shot sneak attack with our lead pipe. Now, as we level up 3 times in a row, if you can believe it, because we just got a ton of experience points from taking out everyone who could fight us, back at the tops, killing Benny, looting the platinum chip, and the real icing on the cake is killing Wolpez. Before we head to the Emeritus, we're gonna go get the Freeside fast travel point, the Strip North Gate specifically, and then we're gonna go talk to the receptionist, fulfilling that criteria of our Yes Man bingo card. With every tribe except for the Brotherhood of Steel checked off, let's go ahead and make our way to Mr. House. I think he's going to really enjoy our initiative here. Well, unfortunately for Mr. House, part of our initiative in these runs is to go after him as quickly as we can. Though unfortunately, once we're done here, we are gonna have to go back and get Yes Man, which means we have to enter the tops because we haven't met him yet. And thanks to the medics, we take a lot less damage as we make our way to Mr. House, and you know we're killing him with the missile launcher. I'm having way too much fun with this run. Ah man, I'm gonna miss this run when it's over, so let's go ahead and get it over with. We're gonna head on over to the Brotherhood of Steel. We're going to do their little Ranger Adoption fetch quest, because while we could probably take them out with our gear, the door locks behind us when they accost us, so we would have to kill them all, which would waste a lot of time. And thanks to good old Colonel Shu contributing to the Fallout New Vegas Faction Warriors cause, we're going to don his NCR Trooper outfit, make our way inside, power the substation, gonna go to a couple places and grab some healing, and then it's final battle time. I just hope all that backtracking and getting those extra supplies, it doesn't slow us down too much. You know, I should have named this boomer Bomberman because instead of the bomber from Lake Mead, we are the destructive force here in Hoover Dam. The great cons, man, that was just such overkill. Bloody mess with the grenade launcher. You love to see it. Now, as powerful as we are, we still have to be wary of the Kenturians because they are also powerful, and unlike us, they're pretty bulky. And yeah, you could argue that we'd be allowed to use the combat armor, but that's just not the boomer way, man. We got our boomer jumpsuit, baby. That's how we roll. And we've got the high ground, so that helps. And our Securitron's feeling a bit sassy, gonna let him get in on the action here, like he's jealous. He's like, I want some kills too, man. I want to use my new weapons. Well, that's fine by me. I already feel like our trip to the gun runners to get some extra missiles by selling our combat armor and helmet was the right thing to do. We actually have more missiles than we have 40mm grenades. It's kind of funny. I did buy some incendiary grenades, which we ended up not using at all, unfortunately. We're going to make our way on over to the control room where these heavy troopers are about to battle. Think they're the two deadliest hitmen west of the Mississippi. But unfortunately for them, they're not Skinny Pete and Badger. That's church, yo. Yeah, so far our greatest obstacle has been ourselves, and by ourselves, I mean the splash damage from our explosive weapons. Nothing inside of Hoover Dam is really strong enough to kill us unless we get overwhelmed by them throwing bodies at us, but we have to be aware of the corridors in here. Not only that, but the Securitron just might decide to clip in front of us, and then we take ourselves out. Well, so far that hasn't seemed to happen yet. The NCR troopers, no problemo. The incoming NCR Ranger does get the jump on us, so we have to fall back. And as they're about to fire, the Securitron unleashes its Gatling laser because it knows that I don't mind it being collateral damage either. The Quartermaster is nearby, but for the time being we should be alright, and oh look at that, we're hated by the NCR. I'll take that badge of honor, thank you very much. Next order of business, this is something the boomers would really like, heading over to the West Power Plant control box, hitting that sweet boom boom box, blowing it up, and getting the heck out of Dodge. Now, there are two Prime Legionnaires who are waiting to cut us off at the path. Well, they were waiting to cut us off at the pass there. We'll go ahead and fire a missile into the hallway to take out the NCR trooper before we head back on up for the second half of Hoover Dam. Normally this would be tough because these three Kenturians are pretty darn strong as far as their gear goes, but they're not more powerful than a missile launcher wielding maniac known as the Boomer of Nellis. Man, no wonder Pearl only said they're gonna send the bomber over. Even sending one boomer would have made a world of difference here at Hoover Dam. I mean, hey, if nothing else, this has been an excellent show don't tell as to why the boomers are always excellent to have as allies. You really want these guys on your side. As we take out the next pack of Kenturians, so do to the Securitron Mark IIs. Don't forget that the ones hanging out back in New Vegas are still upgraded. They take out their little wave of Kenturians, allowing us easy, safe passage into the Legates camp, and I'm thinking, you know what? Let's try something a little risky here. Rather than using the stealth boy that we got from Joe Cobb, let's whip out the missile launcher and see if a Praetorian can tank a shot. I'd say we're 2 for 0 with them getting one shot. Now we still have to sneak our way on up to the Legate because there are veteran legionaries in the watchtowers. I'm not concerned about the Praetorians on the other side. We could just kite them with a grenade launcher if we had to. With our 100 speech, we'll go ahead and talk down Legate Lanius, the entire reason why we wanted 100 speech, and Logan's Loophole, to prevent addictions from nerfing our speech in any way, shape, or form. We'll do the same with Oliver and check our time coming up here. And I have to say, this kind of surprised me, but also not really. I'll show you why in part. We bulldozed the entire game, but with the backtracking and missing Yes Man, we are currently in 3rd place, 3rd being last right now, at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 20 seconds. We do use in-game time, and 20 seconds instead of 17 because I tack on 3 seconds in editing, because that's how much time passes before the game ends. On screen now are some runs you can look forward to. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe, consider joining my Discord, Patreon, or YouTube membership if you really love them. Alright, see you guys in the next run. Later.